Hello, all. Welcome to the show with Mike. T-Roy in the house. What up, T?
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
One of those weird days where I don't know how to open a show.
Well, let me start
Okay.
by congratulating you.
Okay. 4?
This is show number 1,500.
1,500? Okay.
1,500 shows, my man.
Why did I think we were more than that?
Well, based on,
Why not?
that's
Yeah.
my stupid numbers, but based
No.
on whatever. As far as the numbers
Where's the
that
cake?
come up,
Where's the cake? Where's the cocktails? What's going on here?
oh no, the party's after.
Oh, the party's after.
You got to finish the show. You can't.
1,500,
Yeah,
man.
you're only at 1499.001 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get to 1,500
Long way
before
to
you
go.
get the good stuff.
Yeah, I hate those days when I haven't really left the house. The dog didn't do anything stupid. I didn't have a doctor's appointment.
Oh.
I didn't have to go out in the general public and interact with any shitbag out there.
How relatively boring.
Yeah, and so you come in here and it's like, well, how's your day going? You know?
Well, let me tell you.
I went to the bank. You wouldn't believe it. It was a nightmare. You just don't have a launching point.
Yeah.
And you could come on and go, hi, welcome to the show. So, did you hear about, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's a weird way to do it, too.
We love
So-
the small talk.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
took care of that for you.
You did.
How
Thank
about
you.
that? See?
1,500. I wouldn't have even known. I
Pulling
don't
my weight
care.
around here.
I don't know if that's excited anyone else. I'm assuming everybody sent gifts.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
they're
I
probably
mean, clearly they're late because of the,
COVID.
in the Postal Service. And
Yeah. They're probably at the post office. There's
Gotta be.
probably a Santa Claus size sleigh loaded
actually,
with.
I haven't been to the P.O. box.
I haven't either.
So, yeah.
I haven't either. There's
Maybe
probably
it's
a few
overfilled.
Vanity Fairs in there from the last 3 months.
Probably about right. Yeah, I saw you came back with a pretty good stack last time. I was like, where the hell do you... Oh,
yeah.
that makes sense.
I've been
That's
gone for a
It's
while.
a year's worth.
Yeah, a stuffed box with nothing. But yeah, we should probably give that PO box out again soon if I can remember what number it is.
Yeah.
and then people can send us all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah,
Postcards.
yeah, it's always nice
Postcards
to
were always fun.
Yeah.
to read with email.
Yeah, something a little more tangible than an email.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Emails are always good too. Walters@DetroitCast.com. I've gotten some DMs from people like, well, I don't even know what your email is, so I just DM you.
You know, when Hat and I went to Punta a while ago, and we were there right before all those people started dying. Remember in Punta Cana? They were like the bad
the
liquor or whatever,
in
like
the
3 years
mini,
ago.
Mini fridges, right?
Yeah, so I had bought some postcards from there,
Yeah.
and I was going to fill one out and have it be like from whoever the last guy that died, and like mail it
Send
and
it
have
here.
it show
Yeah.
like, hey, big fan, listen to the show. Like,
Love the show. Spreading the news all over Punta.
but nobody else died. Nobody I heard of. So like I had the whole big idea, and then
Yeah.
they swept under the
Oh,
rug.
that's too bad. That's too bad.
Yeah,
that would've
really
been
too
fun.
bad nobody else died.
That would have been fun. You know, I don't know if I'm trying to think if I would have got it.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like if I would have been up enough on the story to know who died.
Yeah, it would have had to have, like I would have had to have staged it. Like you
Yeah.
read the story, and then I like would have slipped it in the mailbox or something that day.
It is an awesome reward though when someone does go, oh, I get it. Duke Lacrosse.
Yeah,
Great
right?
example. Like some people are like, did you
Yeah.
play? I was like, no, dummy.
No.
It goes way deeper than that.
Yep.
My football jersey, I have an actual game used Kansas City Chiefs jersey from the guy that killed his girlfriend and then murdered himself in Kansas City. I can't even think of his name right now. But every once in a while, when McCarty was here especially, there were a lot of sports guys coming in and out. And one day it was on the table in there. It's wrapped up and whatnot. And people, one of the guys, it might have been the dude that's a producer over at 97.1. He walked in, he went, I get it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Nice when you don't have to
Alright.
say it. When
You don't
somebody
have
just
to,
gets
he
it.
just walked
exactly.
by and went, okay, I see what you
Yeah,
did there.
yeah, well done.
I see
Well
what
played.
you did. Yeah. Murder, suicide guy. Yeah. Linebacker for the Chiefs. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that number.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll get on with the day. Prince Andrew. We haven't talked about Prince Andrew much.
Yeah, he didn't really come up much in the trial. I thought you would have
Ghislaine.
heard. Yeah, I thought we would have
Yeah.
heard a little more throughout that process. I would have thought we would have heard a lot more of a lot of things. I feel like that
Yeah.
sort of just got mailed in.
Well,
They didn't want to go too deep on that. I think.
She wanted to. Her lawyers tried to dismiss that trial because Jeffrey Epstein was dead.
Yeah.
Probably killed by the Clintons, the Clinton cabal.
No,
they might
he
guess.
hung himself.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Of course,
suicide.
Of
Clearly
course
that was
he didn't.
suicide.
Of course he didn't. But either way, she was trying to say, or lawyers were trying to argue, this is a scapegoat trial. He was the guy fucking all the underage kids. You know, that trial was pretty damning, though, with her procurement of these girls and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
She played a role.
And Prince Andrew kind of skated under the radar, creep that he is. I think he's kind of been disowned by the royals.
Yeah, they probably don't want a whole lot to deal with that.
Yeah.
They got enough of their own shit.
Yeah.
Has that really just kind of crumbled?
The whole crown?
With Markle and, I mean, they were just such royalty and such class and untouchable, and now they're like a fucking reality show.
Yeah, it's bad. And I watched, what is it, The Crown on Netflix?
Yeah, like the old school of
the
Queen.
It's just creepy. What a shit existence. You would think that would be an amazing existence.
Yeah.
It really is a shit existence.
Yeah.
And the
imagine being
backstabbing,
president for life.
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, you see what it does to these guys in 4 years, 8 years.
Yeah.
How it ages them. Because she became queen at like 18 or something crazy.
Yeah,
right?
it was
like
young.
Super young.
Yeah. And she's still going at 90 something.
Yeah.
But it was just that was a creepy show to watch, and seeing how these people live and how fucked up it is, like all the money in the world. But one thing is kind of cool, like no matter what the scandal is, you're above it.
Yeah.
You don't have to comment at all.
Right.
They don't comment on politicians and what squabbles are going on. They're above it. They're just like, yeah, shut up. We don't get involved with that sort of thing.
No.
It's not our thing. But it's hard to deny, when you've got a potential child rapist in your midst, and in today's woke world, even more so. And Prince Andrew learned that he faces trial in the U.S. after his lawyers failed to convince a New York court that he should not face civil action over claims by Virginia Giuffre that she was repeatedly forced to have sex with him when she was a teenager. Judge Lewis Kaplan dismissed an application from the Duke's lawyers to have the case dismissed, which is likely to result in a high-profile case in September over her sensational allegations against the British royal. In his written ruling, he said, for the foregoing reasons, defendant's motion to dismiss the complaint or for a more definite statement is denied in all respects. Can they just speak English?
No.
You know what I mean? Like
that's how they stay above you.
Yeah. Given the court's limited task of ruling on this motion, nothing in this opinion or previously in these proceedings properly may be construed as indicating a view with respect to the truth of the charges or countercharges, or as to the intention of the parties in entering into the 2009 agreement. So, the 2009 agreement, this is the year, I believe, that Jeffrey Epstein was a convicted pedophile.
His original.
Original one. And in that, Virginia was paid $500,000, and part of that settlement was shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's basically how these things go. Yeah. Here's $500,000. Fuck off.
Yep.
And so
you're not allowed to come back.
Yeah. So the Duke's lawyer said that he had been up first in the hearing a day after the settlement between Epstein and Ms. Giuffre was unsealed. So that just got unsealed the other day.
Okay. Is that a time thing? Why that?
I don't know.
Why that became unsealed?
I'm not sure why that was unsealed. He argued the case does not stand because in her settlement, she had waived her right to sue, and her allegations are not clear, adding she needs to lock herself into a story now. The settlement stated, in addition to being continually exploited to satisfy Epstein's every sexual whim, she was also required to be sexually exploited by defendants' adult male peers, including royalty, politicians, academicians. I mean, it's obviously academics, but academicians. I don't know what that word is.
No, yeah. Academiologists. We'll go with that.
Smart people.
Teachers.
Let's just say smart people. Businessmen and or other professional and personal acquaintance. It does not name Andrew or make any mention of royalty, but it sort of does when it says royalty.
Yeah.
Royalty, I believe, was the first thing that was mentioned. But it does say she agrees to release, acquit, satisfy, and forever discharge Epstein and any other person or entity who could have been included as a potential defendant.
There's a key word in there.
What?
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. Well, Judge Kaplan said, what about Virginia's settlement agreement language that the terms of the agreement are not to be used in any other case by any other person in any other case? David Boies, representing Ms. Giuffre, said the settlement and her agreeing not to take legal action against potential defendants did not apply to Andrew. But Andrew's lawyers argued because she said in her original claim against Epstein she was required to be sexually exploited by Epstein's adult male peers, including royalty. That meant Andrew was a potential defendant and therefore included in the agreement.
Okay.
The court upheld arguments from the legal team that the settlement was agreed in Florida and only legally enforceable in that state and not New York, where she is currently making her claims.
Well, see, that seems kind of shitty. If you can have something somewhere, but it doesn't hold up if you go into another state, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, but I don't care.
Well, I don't either. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
In the big picture of things, if I ever have to have a settlement,
yeah,
I want it to be federal or international. Yeah. Universal.
Well, we're seeing that more and more. Hookers talk now. Mm-hmm. Drug dealers talk. It's like, the whole underground world that was like we all just kind of had a gentleman's agreement.
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. The snitches stopped getting stitches is what fucking happened.
Yeah.
And now they think that it's okay to talk.
Yeah. And especially in these, this is a tough one because when you're talking about sexual assault and you sign something, you accept a check for $500,000.
Yeah.
But then fast forward 12 years and we're in this holier than thou woke universe of #MeToo.
Okay.
All that shit goes out the window.
But it shouldn't. It can't.
But it can destroy you in the court of public opinion.
Well, that's
and then what are you
fine.
going to do? Sue Virginia?
No.
Who's going to sue Virginia? You're not going to sue the victim.
Yeah, I mean the court of public opinion only has so much power. He's still Prince Andrew. He's still royalty.
Yeah.
Could give a shit. They're above it. Remember?
Right.
So if it's not going to be the problem is now they're going criminal charges against him.
And
That's
couldn't he just
public
not
opinion.
come back to America? They're not going to extradite him.
Well, that's an interesting thing because we probably have extradition treaties with the UK.
Yeah.
But I
They're
don't
not
know.
gonna
I don't
send
know
royalty.
I don't know who enforces that. It's so
They're not going to want to ship royalty across the
No.
Pacific or the Atlantic and
No.
get into that shit.
Yeah. Was this chick's thing in Ghislaine's trial?
I don't think she was much in there. She's the one that's in the picture with him.
Yeah,
He's got his arm around her waist,
Yeah.
and he tried to say, "I don't sweat," and that looks sweaty. It's a fake picture.
Right.
Anyway, the 12-page settlement from 2009 was
I
made
swear
public.
I thought she was 18. Can you just go with that?
I don't think that holds up in court. She had a Bob's photo ID.
Yeah,
I don't think it works.
She didn't show me didn't show me anything that said she wasn't.
Yeah. Well, this settlement was made public on Monday.
Word.
On Monday.
Okay.
And this is where it was revealed that she got $500,000 payout from Epstein. Virginia claims she was 17 when she slept with Andrew 3 times in 2001 under orders from Epstein, a friend of the Duke. She is suing for claims of battery and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Andrew has called the accusations baseless, denied them, claiming she is seeking a payday at his expense. During her visit to London, she claims that she danced with Andrew at a nightclub and then went to have sex with him at Maxwell's house in central London. Documents filed by Virginia's lawyers claim that Andrew engaged in sexual acts without her consent, knowing how old she was, and that she was a sex trafficking victim. They had in this country no person, whether president or prince, is above the law. Ha! That's hilarious.
Good luck with that.
That is hilarious.
Is this a he said, she said scenario? Is there any proof of this that they actually had sex, or that just it's her word? I'm curious.
You're talking about a group of people, and this is what the thing was with Epstein. He was said to have had videotapes of a lot of this shit, hidden videotapes, so that no matter what, he was covered. Because he could go, hey, Donald Trump, hey, Bill Clinton, hey, Prince Andrew.
Yeah.
Here's the fucking file of you banging an underage chick. How about you get back in line?
Yeah, that's how you hang yourself.
That's how you hang yourself. Right. Exactly. The reality is Prince Andrew fucked this chick. That's my thought.
Clearly.
There's no reason a guy like this, Prince Andrew, is hanging out with a known pedophile, befriending him for years, being in pictures with Virginia Giuffre. It is what it is.
Yeah, being in the same room does not equate fucking her.
Yeah, well, you are the company you keep in a lot of respects.
Fair.
And
the burden of proof is on the prosecutor.
yeah,
They
well,
have to at least, I mean, that's why I'm asking if there's anything else in this past, back from 2009 when she had this agreement, if anything came out in the Maxwell trial that was any sort of actual proof, than to just say this guy fucked me 10 years ago.
yeah. I think she's been saying it for years.
Okay.
I don't know. When you look at something like that, you can see how these super well-connected, super wealthy, going to Pedo Island,
Yeah.
traveling on the Lolita Express. What are these clowns doing there? Right?
Clearly what
like
they're
that,
doing.
That's so it makes it really, really almost impossible to go, oh no. I mean, what's a 17-year-old doing there with the Prince armor on her in Ghislaine Maxwell's house?
Mm-hmm.
Like what? What would you have a 17-year-old girl there for?
To fuck her.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no other reason you would have a 17-year her stimulating conversation at 17.
Trying to stay relevant with the younger crowd.
Right.
Stay hip.
Right.
It was a focus group.
So, I don't believe all women. I think that's bullshit. I know
Right.
plenty of women who are totally full of shit.
Yeah,
plenty
absolutely.
of them. But in this case,
Is it believable? Yes.
this guy's a creep, and everyone knows
Absolutely
it.
fair.
It is what it is.
I wonder where the burden of proof is.
Yeah.
How you prove it besides she's believable.
Yeah.
Because you can say it, but you have to be able to prove it somehow.
I don't know
And I'm
why
not
you
sure-
don't. If you're that dude, why you don't just go give her $5 million? Make sure that's an airtight, sealed thing. Have her drop her suit, and
Well,
then I go
why?
off wherever.
Yeah, but clearly it doesn't work because the first one didn't matter. So why do it again? Why pay her off if she's just going to talk again?
Well, she didn't talk in this one. It was unsealed by a court. I don't know why.
Okay, well,
I don't know why. But if she had, she would have been on the hook for that. I don't know where she's going to get fucking $500,000.
so she's not
but
bringing these charges. These are like state-drawn charges.
She's bringing charges, but why that was unsealed, I don't think that had anything to do with Virginia Giuffre.
Well, but I mean they're intertwined. It's unsealed, but now she's bringing charges.
Yeah.
But doesn't make the deal that she signed for whatever reason. Why this came to light, I don't know. I'd actually love to know what caused that or why
Yeah.
this is somehow now null and void. Because
Yeah.
I mean, it's like saying you signed a contract for making $5 an hour 20 years ago, but it doesn't hold up now because times have changed. Well, then get a new contract. But that's
Yeah.
the contract that you're on.
Yeah.
So it doesn't change just because opinion changes.
But it does. We've seen it happen time and time
but
again.
but I mean,
I mean, look at
it
Trump
shouldn't.
and the whore.
Yeah.
Fucking what's her name?
oh, what the fuck was her name?
Yeah, shadowy something.
Stevens.
No.
How can we forget that?
Yeah, she was gross. I felt bad for her when she's 45 years old or whatever, still throwing on a bikini and traipsing around a state. Like
What else do they have?
Yeah. No, I know.
Stormy Daniels.
Stormy Daniels.
But they saw the 45-year-old in a bikini, it all came rushing back in the head.
Stormy Daniels had a locked agreement with Trump that he'd pay her, and that was I believe that. I believe that he paid her $125,000 to fuck off during a campaign.
Yep.
Here's $125,000.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
Right.
I banged you. I have a wife. I'd rather you shut up. Almost any guy who found themselves in that situation and had the means would do the same fucking thing.
Sure.
Try to save their family. I don't need this in a run up to an election, so pay some whore off. Guys have cheated on their wives since since the beginning of man.
It's old as his time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So that doesn't hold up. There's no accountability for that.
Well,
There's no accountability for a lot of these things we see where it's like,
it's a sad state of affairs, really,
yeah.
to think that, especially if somehow it doesn't cross state lines. That seems fucking insane to me. Like,
Well, she
that's
was
almost
in
like
London.
saying, well, it's like saying if I was charged with murder and I got off in Florida, I go to Georgia, they can charge me with it again because that was Florida and it doesn't hold up.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not arguing with the judge.
Oh.
He knows more about it than I do. I know what you're saying, though, T. I know what you're saying. You
There's
wish
just a lot of variables in this that I don't agree with.
You
I'm not,
wish-
and for the record, I'm saying he fucked her and that was wrong.
Yeah.
But there's a
to an
process in
agreement.
place. Yeah, that she was supposed to shut the fuck up. This wasn't supposed
But
to come
it sounds like it's a loose description. So
But
she
she's
was
bringing-
paid off.
but
She
she's
was
bringing
paid off by
charges.
Epstein, who's now dead,
But she's bringing charges now.
against someone other than Epstein. And it just said royals. Well, maybe there's myriad royals. Maybe there's lots of politicians. So I think what the judge is saying, this loose blanket, it doesn't name defendants that, this protects Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein. It doesn't do that. It's just kind of this blanket what
Then why put that word?
catch-all.
Why put those words in there?
I don't know.
If it's just Epstein, then that should be just Epstein. But if it covers all these other people.
Yeah. I don't know. I won't pretend to know how the legal justice system works. But
Nope.
the more of these big shots that go down, because we've heard these rumors
Oh, yeah.
forever. And Prince Andrew, we've known about him in the tabloids walking through Central Park with Jeffrey Epstein for decades. This has been going on for a long time. And it's just, the rich get richer. They get away with whatever.
His 3-day breakup.
Yeah, his 4-day
Or
breakup.
4 days, sorry.
Yeah. He didn't want to break up with his friend and tell him I can't hang out with you anymore over the phone.
Yeah.
So he had to fly to New York and hang out at Jeff Epstein's house for 4 days. Stop it. It's not how people behave.
Wouldn't you think that if they knew he was there for 4 days, that there would have been some traffic of some young women going in and out of there? Is there a secret entrance
Who
to where
knows?
he's at?
Probably. It's a bat cave that dude was living in.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Smart.
Yeah. It's too bad he hung himself.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to see that trial play out, but that was pretty damning with Ghislaine.
Well,
I hope this dude goes
It
down
is,
soon.
and it was damning of her, but I was very surprised of how everything else was sort of skimmed over in that trial. Like, nothing really came out. Any other real details, any other names, any other people accused, mentioned.
It's weird.
But I guess that's...
And they're trying to come to some settlement where they drop these charges, and she pleads guilty to these ones. And so who knows what that does to her sentence. Who knows how much money she has buried away too.
Right. Wasn't there one chick that didn't, there was like 8 counts and she was guilty of 7?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, sorry, you didn't get raped enough. Sorry.
Yeah.
It
Sorry,
wasn't
you
a good
lose.
enough raping.
Yeah. You didn't describe your rape well enough.
Yeah,
So
no.
sorry you lose.
You were not believable.
More emails came out.
Wonder if it was the just look at her excuse.
I doubt it. He was probably landing the hottest chicks in high school.
Exactly. That's why the 8th one was like,
No. You're the maid's friend. No. Some new emails have come out regarding COVID. 19. Dr. Fauci is involved.
your boy.
Rand Paul is not happy.
You know what? I can't wait for this. I want to see this sort of all clipped together. What Rand Paul and the Fauci
Yeah, it's great.
back and forth that they've
great.
had time after time after time, because it goes back over a year. I mean,
Yeah,
quite a
it's
bit.
going on 2 years.
And he's really the only one out there that's really putting it up his ass.
Yeah.
He's giving it to him. And
There's a few Congress people and senators all on the right
yeah.
going against this guy, but this guy is just a clown. I'm sorry. I'm really disappointed because I read a lot of comments on some of these stories, like just try to get a general feel for what people that are going to actually post a comment under a story think.
Yeah.
And so many of them are anti Rand Paul. They're very pro Fauci.
It probably
and they're
depends a
just-
lot on where that article is posted too.
Maybe.
On
Yeah.
where's it can be the
Sure.
exact same story, but from 2 different
Fair.
sources will have a very different tone.
Yeah, if I'm looking at the New York Times or something, yeah, you're going to get a different
Right.
spin than if you were looking at Revolver or whatever. But
Breitbart.
yeah, right. Is that still a site? I haven't been there.
Whatever.
Fuck. But yeah, I'm surprised at how many people, and it's usually like, Rand Paul is such a fucking clown. Shut up. But it doesn't give you anything to like, here's why Rand Paul is full of shit.
No, of course not.
None of that.
No, because there isn't.
Yeah.
He's been pretty spot on everything that he's said and done.
Yeah.
And Fauci just tries to sidestep. And didn't they even change the legal definition on their website of gain of function research?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They did.
As this went down, they changed the definition.
Change the definition of anti-vax. Change the definition of gain of function.
Yep.
Yeah, all that
The,
stuff.
Yeah, I think we talked about it a while back, but that was one of the terrifying moments when he was calling him out, and he was like, that you need to take some responsibility for this current pandemic. And Fauci, in his wording, was like, I have zero responsibility for this current pandemic. This current pandemic, I am not responsible for.
Yeah.
And you're just
The way he worded it.
Yeah, you're like, oh. You motherfucker! Was it the last one or the next one or what do you?
He said current too many
right?
times.
Like Delta? What are we talking about here? Like
A lot of
that's
people,
scary.
a lot of scientists have pointed that out to you, what you picked up on, that he is being extremely careful with the words he chooses
Absolutely.
when he makes some bold statement. like that. And I don't have examples in front of me, but I remember listening to scientists going, "Oh yeah, this is lab speak for fucking nonsense."
Yeah.
He's saying stuff that will protect his ass
Yeah.
later on. The thing that bothers me is
I saw another one too that was shocking to me. He's always sort of taking notes and doing things.
Yeah.
One was hysterical to where he was sitting there with his mask on and then took it off to speak and then put it back on
Yeah.
and then took it off to speak.
yeah.
Anyway, that wasn't the funny part. But he had like a tablet or an iPad or whatever next to him. And after Rand had gone through this whole thing, he was like, I would like to respond. And he picked that up and he started going off. Like, so he didn't put the shit in there. He was like, you said this, and that's not true. And then you said this. And he was like, literally in that moment.
So someone else was writing it on the
somebody
tablet?
else must have been like sending it and putting it in there.
Yeah.
Like, no, here, say this. This is what he did. Say this.
Yeah.
This is what he did. Like, hold on, you're on the stand. What the
Yeah.
fuck? Wait a minute. Like something's not right
Someone's
here.
handing you
yeah,
notes
like
about
there's
what
no.
to
I mean,
say.
there's yeah. I mean, unless somehow it's being transcribed, into his maybe.
Yeah.
It's.
Well, I don't have all the details yet, but I believe the story that broke today was a judge ruled that Pfizer has until April 1st to release all the data they have on this vaccine, what harm it could potentially cause. They've been holding that close to the vest, and they wanted 75 years. They wanted from a FOIA request. It was a FOIA request to get all the information Pfizer had, how they came up with this thing, how they passed this vaccine, and they wanted 75 years. In other words, let's make sure basically everyone who's alive today is dead.
Dead and forgets all about it.
Forgets all about it, and then we can release this info. And a judge went, no.
Yeah.
I am sorry.
And then we'll deal
you
with it.
have until April 1st. And then Pfizer's response was something along the lines of, we only have like 10 employees, 2 of which are new, working in the record-keeping department. So that's going to be impossible. And the judge fired back with like, you have 16,426 employees. I think you could find the manpower. Yeah. You have until April 1st.
Yeah. Redirect some funds. And,
How about you do that? You made $33.5 billion this year, you fucking assholes.
Get a hold of a temp agency. Bring them in.
Call Kelly Services. You familiar? Have them start shuffling shit out.
Yeah.
Which I love. I thought they would get protection across the board and this would be guarded.
Because Veritas just came out with some Fauci shit too. That we
Did
didn't
they?
talk about. Yeah, they just
Project Veritas?
Yeah. Some emails, some very damning emails.
Yeah.
I can't speak too intelligently about it because I've only heard the grumblings. But
Yeah. Well, I've got a couple of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say basically that it was.
Basically,
absolutely gain of function, which whether you want to argue the definition of that or whatever, but the probability of it being caused, their direct link, and even
their discussions, their private discussions.
Going of blocking all the fucking people going against them.
So Rand Paul called Dr. Fauci out for being a menace, a political creature, and not a scientist after their showdown during the Senate Health Committee hearing earlier yesterday. The Kentucky senator insisted that there was a probability of 90 to 10 that the COVID-19 virus was engineered through gain-of-function research in a lab in Wuhan and subsequently leaked from that lab. He's also blamed Fauci's department at the NIH for helping fund the lab and its gain-of-function research. Fauci, of course, repeatedly denied these claims to Paul's face in a series of back and forths during these committee hearings. Bombshell email revelations now show that even leading Western experts admitted that a Wuhan leak is most likely the cause of the virus. Now, where Rand Paul is getting 90-10, I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
And
that could even be throwing that number out to be like, no, it was more like 70-30.
Yeah, right.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's saying 90-10. Did you break it again? God damn it. Quit pounding on the table, dummy.
I get riled up, man.
No, you're too big. You got
know.
those fucking meat claws for hands, vanilla gorilla style, and you keep breaking shit.
I'm going to fix it. Don't worry.
So during the hearing, Fauci's thing was, oh, look what you've got here. And he shows that Rand Paul started a campaign to fire Fauci. Get this fucking clown out of here. Donate now to help us raise the funds to get this guy out of here. And Fauci's big thing was, you're trying to raise money on the story. That's all this is a money grab for you. And Rand Paul's like, yeah, nice try, dude. So Rand Paul, he says, you see, fire Dr. Fauci with little boxes that says contribute here. So you were making catastrophic epidemic. You were making a catastrophe epidemic for your political gain. We want people to go to randpaul.com if they want to get rid of Tony Fauci. It's a political thing. He is a political creature. We think he should be put up on charges, but he's not going to until there's an intervening election. So elections do make a difference. I think he's a menace. I think he's lied to the American public. I think he funded the lab in Wuhan that in all likelihood this virus came from. I think he's ignored natural immunity. I think he's told people to wear cloth masks when they don't work. I think he's abusing his office. So yes, we would go after him personally because he attacked others personally from his office. Paul pushed claims that Fauci funded the lab. Leading Western experts believe the is likely the origin, but were silenced because it could cause harm to Chinese scientists. This email leak, or not leak, this emails show. Yeah. In the email sent to American health chiefs Fauci and Francis Collins, Sir Jeremy said, he's a UK doctor, Jeremy Farrer, and he said it was possible COVID had been evolved from a SARS-like virus in the lab. He went on that this seemingly benign process may have accidentally created a virus primed for rapid transmission between humans, but the British scientist was shut down by his counterparts in the U.S., who warned further debate about the origins of the virus could damage international harmony. He was told by other scientists with links to virus manipulation research that it could cause unnecessary harm to science in general and science in China in particular.
Can't have that.
No. Despite his concerns, Sir Jeremy went on to sign letters in The Lancet 2 weeks later, they say a fortnight later, denouncing anyone who believed in the lab leak theory as bigoted. So yeah. His concerns behind the scenes were, we probably fucking started this thing. Mm-hmm. And then these guys got to him, and then he says, anybody that has that whack job Wuhan lab leak theory is bigoted.
Yeah, the Chinese virus. Yeah, it's so irresponsible.
The new emails, they say, were only... Kung flu, there you go.
I nailed that one early.
Yeah, you did. Were only revealed after U.S. Republican House Oversight Committee were granted access to them yesterday. In Sir Jeremy's initial email, he revealed himself and other experts' main suspicions centered around COVID's unique furin cleavage site, the part of the spike protein which makes it so efficient at infecting human cells.
Did you say fur and cleavage?
I did. Furin.
Oh, I was going to say. That sounds like my kind of site.
Fur and cleavage, hell yeah. Is this a fucking joke site? What, the fur and cleavage site? Furin, F-U-R-I-N.
Okay.
Cleavage site.
Okay. Fur and cleavage.
Yeah, fur and cleavage. Good catch, T. In Sir Jeremy's initial email, he revealed he and other experts' main suspicion centered around COVID's unique fur and cleavage site, the part that's infecting human cells. The email continued, Professor Farzan is bothered by the furin site and has a hard time to explain that as an event outside the lab, though there are all possible ways in nature, but highly unlikely. I think this becomes a question of how do you put all this together, whether you believe in this series of coincidence, what you know of the lab in Wuhan, how much could be in nature, accidental release, or natural event. I'm 70-30 or 60-40. He later downgraded his estimate to 50-50. In further emails just a few days later, Fauci funded the lab, Paul insisted. He tried to obscure the idea that he was giving money to the lab, and then he steadfastly for 2 years said it wasn't gain of function, that they weren't taking viruses that don't exist in nature, creating them and creating viruses that are so dangerous they could actually wipe out a portion of humanity. He continues to deny that it came from a lab. Yes, he's culpable. And so when you ask him to investigate it, he's not interested. He has a conflict of interest because it came from the lab. During the hearing, this was great too. Fauci's like, all this shit talking you're doing about me, it's making death threats against me. And he says, Paul disputed that during the interview, Rand Paul. He says, claiming Republicans did not blame Senator Sanders when one of his radical supporters unleashed a fucking gunfight at the GOP softball practice in 2017. Before he was saying he was science and you were attacking science, but now he said if you attack him, you're encouraging violence against him. Well, he said it to the wrong person. Look, I was at the ball field when Steve Scalise was shot, the House whip, shot in the hip.
Yeah.
I had staff member 10 feet away from me who was shot. I know what it's like to be shot at. I've had what looked like anthrax delivered to my house. My wife and I have been assaulted and mobbed in the streets of D.C.
You got fucking railed on a riding mower.
Yeah. I had a hater of President Trump break 6 of my ribs.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I had part of my lung removed. I know what political violence is about. I don't wish violence on Fauci. I do wish he'd be fired, though, because I think trusting the Chinese is wrong. I think funding the lab in China is wrong. I think ignoring natural immunity is wrong. But I don't wish him any harm. But one thing's for sure, none of us at the ball field, not one Republican, blamed Bernie Sanders for that shooting. We were not juvenile enough to do that. Fauci came to the hearing today and accused me of somehow inciting some Looney Tunes person. Does he not realize I have people arrested once every month or two who threaten to attack me? Plus, I have been attacked, and he's going to blame his attacks on me. It's not fair. It's a cheap shot, but it was a cheap shot by a politician and not a scientist. Ooh, damning.
Listen, like I said, I would love to see this all clipped together because, I mean, I've seen some of it, and I really like the way Rand Paul's handled himself.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of his dad. Ron, I thought, really we fucked up by not having Ron Paul being the president of this country. We really did.
Maybe.
We would be in a different direction if he had gotten in there.
Yeah.
And he's one of those sleepers, I think, that
Rand?
could come out of the right side.
Paul?
Yeah, that's very possible. Yeah, if you don't want to do that Gabbert side, I could see Paul getting in there.
Yeah.
Especially after this. And sometimes you can see the writing on the wall. Mm-hmm. So when you start seeing this grandstanding, and not that he's wrong or that he's grandstanding, but he's front and center.
Who? Paul?
Paul.
Yeah.
In all this. And depending on how this all shakes out, you take that momentum and run with it.
The problem I have is, as a nation being as politically divided as we are, and people, they don't want their egos bruised. So I think there is a very, very good chance, 90-10 we'll say, take Paul's words, that people, no matter how much of the truth comes out, no matter how much we end up learning in the long run about this, no matter how much we realize what an absolute fuckery job locking down society for 2 years has been to all of society, and how absolutely unnecessary it was at every level, the vaccine pushed mandates, all the shit they're trying to do, when it all falls apart, which it will, none of these people will admit any wrongdoing. None of these people will be held to account. And half the country will still think you're crazy for saying it. No matter how much evidence you show them, no matter how much we've been talking about it, giving stuff, I just don't think so. I mean, the debunking of Russiagate should have been so fucking damning for people that bought that nonsense for 5 years.
Yeah, but the problem is
still believe it. They still believe it.
But it's not coming across the CNN.
Yeah.
So it's being said, but if it's not on CNN or insert fucking news media here, they don't believe it. So they only believe what they're being told. And so anything that comes out, if it refutes what they're being told by the left, it's alt-right, it's right-wing, it's conspiracy theory, it's bullshit.
Nazi theory.
No matter how true it may be.
Some people are waking up.
Well,
I know some people that are waking up.
That was going to be my point. Is when you say half the country.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want all the other 50%. I mean, we don't need the other 50%. What you need is that 10% in the middle.
Yeah.
Right. Those ones that are, yeah, but this, yeah, but that. Those 10%, if they can start going, yeah, you know what, this is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I think something shitty's going on, And I'd say they're going to the right, but they just wake up.
The cool thing is,
and not just have that blind faith, because that's terrifying.
The cool thing is, there are people like Jimmy Dore who are hard left who recognize it. Russell Brand has a great podcast that he's doing where he's waking up to shit that if you listen to our show 2 years ago, we were saying. Yeah. Right. He's having the aha moment. It's crazy. When I listen to him, he's like, this is all falling apart. It's like, this turns out Hillary Clinton was behind Russiagate. And it's like, no shit, dummy.
You just chose not to believe it.
You chose not to look into it. But I give him credit for coming out now.
Yeah.
The Daily Show the other day put the CDC on blast. Made a whole parody video of their new vaccine rules.
Yeah.
And if you get the virus, Because they were telling him he had to quarantine for 10 days, all this shit. Now they're going, 5 days is good enough. You don't even need to test. And so all those people that were fucking lockstep, goose-stepping along with these monsters are going, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
So there
'Cause they're
are
the ones
people
that were-
waking up.
Yeah, they were the ones with their heels dug in the sand going, yeah, you know, and then when they start changing the rules, you're like, hey, man, what?
Nobody wants
hung
to
me
feel
out to dry.
stupid. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to feel stupid.
Exactly.
We've probably lost a shit ton of listeners, people that just want to believe
Probably.
that nonsense. You know, I can't tell you where to do your research or
No.
what to read.
Yeah.
We can tell you what we're seeing.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at both sides, it seems very crystal clear that one is just spinning absolute bullshit. And then you listen to top scientists around the world who are being censored, having their licenses removed,
Yeah.
told to shut up in all across the globe. They're telling a completely different story, and it makes a lot more sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Makes way more sense when
Like
you
saying
see it.
Rand Paul's a piece of shit. Okay, why?
Rand Paul's a
Okay.
clown emoji.
Haha. Oh, got him.
You nailed him.
Yeah, how about anything to back that up?
Discredit any of the 20 things he just listed.
Yeah, but you
Discredit
can't.
any of them.
So you just it goes back to the Malone thing.
Send me an email. Any one of you out there, send me an email and discredit what Rand Paul is saying.
Exactly.
I'll read it. I'll read it on the fucking air.
He'll probably lose his Twitter.
Yeah, Rand Paul probably will.
You know,
yeah.
it's just the way it is. If you can't prove him wrong, you just have to make him go away.
Yeah. Or try to just throw bombs. This is what they did to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're listening to an MMA guy? No, I'm listening to the fucking expert doctor he's talking
fear
to.
factor guy.
Yeah, fear
and his
factor guy.
horse dewormer.
No, I'm listening to Robert Malone, Dr. Robert Malone on his show. I'm not listening to Joe Rogan. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you?
If the one thing that you
so
could refute of what he said was that he wasn't the sole inventor of the mRNA and that he
Yeah.
was only a part of the team that created it,
Right.
that's your fallback on discrediting everything else that he
fact-checking
said.
PolitiFact.
Holy shit, man. I mean, that alone
Yeah.
should be like, wait, did that really? Come on.
Should
Did
be
that really
concerning.
happen? Like, that really fucking happened.
Yeah.
Like, that really happened. Not anything about what he said. None of that was refuted.
Yeah.
And even confirmed. Even when you look at it, they're like, yeah, it does say, but, you know, we just wish he would have put some more context to it. You know,
I think more and more people know how absolutely partisan and full of shit the fact checks are. Less than I would like,
Yeah.
but more and more people are learning that. And there's no Omicron's a real problem. What does that mean, or you?
that's you.
Oh, shit. It's Beaumont Health.
Oh,
So maybe Biggie.
hi guys. Maybe. Here, let me see. Here. Plug that in.
Right. You're right. Yeah. No, pass.
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Omicron is a real problem for the narrative.
Yeah.
Because you cannot deny that Omicron is weak as shit and killing nobody. It's
They're
not
not
hurting
saying-
kids. It's not. It's just not.
But it
so
is
you can't
more
bury it. You can't bury
contagious.
it.
It
So what?
is more contagious.
Good. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
That's their tagline. So that's all they're saying is that it's more contagious, and all
Yeah.
these they're just throwing all these numbers
Yeah.
of cases like it's this rise in this epidemic,
Yeah.
you know, catastrophe that we're in. But in reality, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, good. I hope everybody fucking gets it. I mean, I don't want anybody to die. I really don't. But
You don't care.
well, most of them, no. I mean, like I said, nobody gets out of this life alive, man.
No.
You're born with a death sentence.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it's coming. Coming quick.
Yeah.
Freight train quick. Yeah, but Omicron is one they can't, like, with Delta, they could always point to numbers and they could always find a spike somewhere in the nation.
I mean, as far
You
as I know, we still haven't had an Omicron death,
No.
which is probably why you're starting to see Deltacron,
Yeah. Ooh.
so that they can start,
Yeah,
you know,
maybe.
crossing some numbers.
Yeah. And then when you have people like Sonia Sotomayor speaking, you know, the Supreme Court justice, super liberal, and she says, oh my God, this Omicron, there's 100,000 children in the hospital. Well, actually, there's been 82,400 something children admitted to the hospital since January of 2020. And most of those, if you're being honest, Sonia, were admitted with a broken arm and just happened to have fucking COVID.
Yeah.
They weren't feeling anything. They weren't sick.
Right.
Almost none of those kids died.
No, not
you know?
even like.
And Fauci even had to come out and admit almost all of those 82,000 kids that have been hospitalized. It's just because they fucking test everybody that goes into the hospital. So any one of those kids admitted for a surgery, a broken arm, fucking laceration, they get tested. And it's like, oh, you got COVID. And the kid's like, oh, holy shit, I had no idea.
Yeah, I feel great.
I feel like $1 million.
Arm hurts, but I feel fine.
Can you fix my arm now? Because this
No.
this COVID's no big deal.
Yeah, we're not going to touch your arm, but come here, let me show you this ventilator.
Yeah.
You're going to love it.
Yeah. Take a nap, sleepy. Oh, anyway, probably lost a handful of listeners there, but that's all right.
Hey,
What are you going to do?
I can't make you wake up.
I can only tell you my truth as I see it.
Exactly
and
right.
So can you. That's
Everything,
all we can do, man. I love everybody.
This is our opinion.
I love my liberal friends. I really do.
I want the best for everyone. That is what I want. I want us to be.
I'm tired, though, Troy. I'm tired of pointing people in the direction and having them just shit on it. Not do any further investigation, but just rule it out because whatever, because I'm on this side.
Yeah.
I'm on this side. If you look at Fauci, he's not telling you anything but get the vaccine. Get the vaccine. Get the vaccine. He's not giving you any science. He's not telling you anything more than anybody else. Everybody admits that. Yeah, vaccine's probably a good idea, especially if you got comorbidities.
No mask, two masks, one mask, no mask.
Yeah.
Just
And we could play videos all day long if we wanted to dedicate the time to it. We could play videos of that asshole contradicting himself from 1 week to the next. And he's been doing it for 2 years.
and you could defend it if you try, if you want to.
Sure, I
but
suppose.
You'd be wrong.
You know? It's like it's almost like
How dare we,
You know,
two
these are-
morons in a basement, question the supreme leader of the scientific world?
Drew
Lord
used to
Fauci.
say, you know, we do these horrific stories. Some guy caught fucking a sheep in the barn, and his mom would go, "He's a good boy," and it was a misunderstanding. And it's like, Drew would say stuff like, "Yep, mom will love you no matter what."
Yeah, true.
And that's almost what people are doing with this fucking Lord Saint Fauci. I just don't see. He's a swamp creature galore. Been there forever. Hasn't seen a patient in 50 fucking years. Like
Not
he's
doing any
science.
actual lab
he
work,
actually said he was science twice, and doubting him was doubting science.
Yeah.
That's the most incredibly crazy thing I've ever
I
heard.
am bureaucrat. If you doubt me, you doubt bureaucracy.
Right.
Okay,
It's just
that works
nuts,
just as
man.
well.
I just don't understand how half the country can stand there and go, "Yes, Lord Fauci, whatever you say." Howard Stern's dumbass getting involved in all this shit.
Please run. Please run. Please run. I want to see it so bad.
No, this guy is such a clown. He's, I might as well just stick these all together.
Well, when you say follow the money, you follow the power. You follow all of it. You know, it's. I don't know.
Again, this is just like so uneducated, and I understand that anybody that's on Howard Stern's team is not allowed to have an opinion. They never have been. You either fall in line with Howard Stern's opinion, or you fucking leave.
Yeah.
That's the way Howard Stern operates. He's an asshole. He's a scared little fucking whiny bitch who will lock himself in a basement for 3 years and not think anything of it.
I don't want to get sick.
I don't want to get sick. So I'll just hole up in a $50 million home. Oh, wow. Wish we could all be so lucky. But he's always been a petty, spineless little fucking asshole. That's what Howard Stern is. He did shit and dick jokes for 30 years.
Yeah.
Wow. What a rebel. I mean, yeah, great for the industry. When he started, he was the first. He was the first out of the gate. So he reaps the benefits of that. He gets the $500 million contract. But Howard Stern hasn't been edgy in 10 years.
No.
20 years. Nothing of the sort. People still suck his dick. He's on the right political team now.
How easy would it be to cancel him for some of the shit that he's said and done over the
God,
years? I mean, immediately.
If he wasn't on the right team, if he wasn't on the hard alt left, he'd be so fucking fireable. Some of his bits are, I mean, the race stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, I'd have
you don't
to,
even
I'd
have to go down the list. Yeah,
it'd be so fucking cancelable. It's not even funny.
In a 30-second video. Like, this is your guy. This is your president.
And I wouldn't want that.
No.
Times change. Whatever. I don't want him canceled.
I totally agree, but you got to play the rules by both sides.
Yeah, you would think. You would hope.
You would hope. And the Fauci thing, it's starting to fall apart.
Yeah.
And the signs are there.
Yeah.
Just like the Russiagate stuff.
Yeah.
And if you want to just believe no matter what, then
Well,
I can't help it.
The problem is what they do, how they do this and get away with it is they just stop. When they're dead to rights, Rachel Maddow just stops. Don Lemon just stops.
Yeah.
And then they go back to the narrative of everybody's a racist if you don't believe what we believe.
Yeah.
Right? So if you just stop talking about Russiagate, it's like it didn't happen. Well, the rest of us are going, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You were on a fucking mission for 5 years. What happened? You told everybody every night, round the clock for 5 years.
That's a left retraction.
Yeah.
To
right?
just stop talking.
And so
Silence
it just
is
kind
golden.
of quietly melts away, and everything's been disproven. We know the story now. I mean, the story's out there. You can continue to fucking slam your head in the sand. I don't care. No, they can't stop you from doing that.
They feed the narrative. They drive the narrative. So if when that becomes dead in the water, you just stop talking about it. You stop driving it, and you just move on to the next one.
But I don't get how a Supreme Court justice can come out with something like, you're a Supreme Court justice. How does someone not go, hey, by the way, Sonia, just so we're clear, just so you have full understanding, you are a lawyer and a judge. Yeah. You should know this. Here's what Fauci even said. Like, here's what the stats say. So what you just said was absolutely disinformation and misinformation. Period.
Pull her Twitter.
Howard Stern wants Novak Djokovic. He should be banned from the sport of tennis. Banned from the sport. That fucknut Djokovic, the Joker. I call him the Joker. What a fucking asshole.
Actually,
these are Howard's
nickname.
quotes.
You didn't make that up, Howard, just
No.
for the record. I called him Joker for 10 years.
The first I've heard of this guy, really? This is the first you've heard about?
A fucking expert opinion.
20 Grand Slam
right
time champion,
Yeah.
right?
He's the #1 player in the world.
Yeah. This is the first I've heard of this guy, and he doesn't want to get his vaccine. They should throw him right the fuck out of tennis. That's it. Goodbye. Robin Quivers added nothing as always, said the tennis star's argument against getting the shot was because he had COVID at the beginning of the pandemic. Sounds like a very good argument.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Good. Generally holds up.
So Howard's response to that, who knows? He could be lying. Okay.
So this guy is competing on the highest level all across the world. And this fuckbag is hiding in his basement.
Yeah. Studio perfectly built for him in his basement.
And just that. Just your apples to apples right there. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Clearly, he's
Who
doing
knows?
just
He
fine.
could be lying. So your go-to is Djokovic says, I don't really want to get the vaccine. Plus, I have this ultimate protection because I already got COVID. Howard's response to that is, he could be lying. Yeah, that's probably what it is, Howard.
Sure.
He goes on, he's a douchebag. Notice what's going on here.
Just
it's
slander.
not, here's why he's wrong. Here's why he's ill-advised.
Selfish.
Here's why he's selfish.
Douchebag.
He's a douchebag. He's a fucknut. He should be out of tennis. He doesn't care about anyone else. Stay away from other people. What a dummy. You just a big dumb tennis player. If you want to talk tennis, I'll talk to you. Other than that, you should shut your mouth.
You can't talk tennis, asshole. You don't even know who fucking Novak Djokovic is. You fucking moron. So no, we don't want to talk tennis or COVID.
Yeah, you clearly don't know anything about COVID either.
Just go
dipshit.
away. You fucking. I don't understand how.
Remember, he wanted Aaron Rodgers thrown out of the NFL.
Of course.
Yeah.
It just is baffling to me.
So why can no one, his fucking stupid wife, Beth, his dumb fucking staff, anyone at SiriusXM that's ahead of him in the chain of command, why can no one go, Howard, just for the record, you know that the transmission rates are identical based on vax status, whether you're vaxxed or not. So the idea that Djokovic is more of a threat to anyone else than some vaccinated person is outdated theory. It's not accurate. Yeah. It's well known. This is so well known.
It's COVID gate.
Yeah, but this guy's rambling on and on to millions of people potentially.
Pandering is what he's doing.
Well, he's just a scared fucking toddler. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's
a germaphobe fucking pussy that wants to hang out in his basement. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, and it's funny how you're right. There's zero science, facts, anything to
Did he
refute.
spit any science and facts?
No, he called them names.
Yeah,
called them names.
Nut, douchebag, asshole. Doesn't care about anyone.
And for that, he should be banned from the sport forever.
Yeah.
And Why?
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 You didn't say
Please
why.
expand on it. I'm just so sick of this empty fucking dribble from these people that are just saying the fucking catchphrases that they're being fed and have no concept of what it is.
And how pathetic, too. Like, Howard Stern at one point doing dick and fart jokes. I mean, that's how he made his money, was dick and fart jokes.
Absolutely.
So to compare yourself to Joe Rogan, you want to light up Joe Rogan? Like, Joe Rogan has the most enlightened conversations with some of the most critical thinkers on planet Earth.
Integrity.
3-4 days a week for hours at a time, right? Isolated. Howard made his money doing dick jokes, right? And racist jokes. That's where Howard made his living.
And Howard might be the worst. And that they could be they couldn't be more opposite. Joe Rogan might be the best interviewer out there, besides you, of course.
Right.
And Stern, now that Larry's dead, might be the worst.
Yeah.
He can't get through, he can't let a guy finish a sentence.
No,
it has nothing to do, whoever's in that studio has nothing to do with them. It's all about him and what he can say and how he can top everything. And it's the most bullshit irrelevant dribble that comes out of it.
Here's how this works, because Howard does pre-interviews, right? So guests are submitted questions, and then if you answer some way, his staff will tell you, if you tell that story on any other channel, you can't do the show. So there's that whole thing. So he's got a lot of pre-packaged stories that are just for Howard, because he's the wacky shock jock who can get anybody to talk about anything. They could talk about their boners with Howard Stern. Yeah. So they go on there sucking his dick for an hour and a half, every celebrity in the world. He gets the biggest guest. And to your point, T, nothing fucking pisses me off more. Nothing drives me more nuts when people go, oh, yeah, Howard Stern, amazing. He's the best interviewer.
Oh, my God.
I go, are you fucking kidding me? Howard Stern is one of the worst interviews I've ever heard.
Ever.
For real.
Like I said, now that Larry King died, I think he took the crown.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's saying something.
What Howard does, what you said, I've heard, I can't even tell you how many guests I've heard laying out a story. Clearly, here's their open, here's the meat. And as they get to the punchline, Howard will hear one word in that story, shift gears, and talk about himself.
Yep.
That's what Howard does. Yeah. And then we'll never circle back to get the punchline.
No, God,
I've heard guests go, hold on, Howard, I was in the middle of something. Let me finish that story.
Yeah.
And it's infuriating to me. Infuriating that people think he's a great interviewer. Are you kidding? Joe Rogan
is the flip side of that.
Joe Rogan is an actual interviewer.
Yeah, he'll let a guy go for a half hour. I mean, start somewhere. The guy will go in this to this to this to this to this and end up in a completely different realm to where it started, being relevant, whatever. But then we'll go, hey, we never finished this point.
Yeah.
And go back to it and bring it right back around, because the difference is listening.
One's
and
listening
caring,
and one's not. Yeah.
Giving a shit. It's not about waiting to get my dick joke in.
Yeah.
It's about the reason they're there is because of what they have to say.
When we have a guest on here, my whole goal, I'm so honored to have people spend the time and effort to come in. It's not easy. It's not easy to go to someone's studio and sit down. I want to give them the platform to showcase themselves. It's not about me. It's not about you.
Right.
And if you're doing a good job as an interview, you're setting the table for them to promote themselves. Doesn't mean you can't argue with them.
Yeah.
But
there's good interviews and there's bad interviews. I mean, subjects.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to drive a little more. Sometimes you got to do different. And sometimes you can just let it go.
Let it go.
And let them fucking do let it do it on their own.
Yeah.
But
no, Howard has to be the star of everything Howard does.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
It is, and I know there's a lot of fans of him.
It's not journalism by any stretch.
No,
it's barely entertainment.
And the fact is, and most people know this isn't a hot take, but what made Howard great was that he used to, shit all over establishment people.
It was a shock jock.
You couldn't.
It's the original shock jock.
Yeah. But shock jock was more like pussy jokes and fart and dick jokes.
Well,
but when he did have people on, he would push back against the mainstream narrative. That's what makes you a rebel. Not going with the flow. There's nothing hard about going with the mainstream narrative with the government. Gross. Ugh, makes my skin crawl. Yeah. You trust Big Pharma? Since when? What the fuck are you doing? And But now, I mean, $500 million changes people. It just does. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
It's too bad to see.
No.
But,
like we talked about it before, too. Like, I wonder how many people actually believe this. Howard, I believe, believes it. What
yeah,
he's saying.
probably.
Just he's that disconnected.
Yeah.
But
his behavior shows you when he's scared. He's scared. He doesn't want to get sick.
Yeah.
He's admitted that. He's just a cowardly guy who doesn't leave his house anyways. So this is kind of the best thing for him. He's got a free, open-ended excuse to never have to go into Manhattan into his studio. Yeah. He can just stay in the Hamptons where the fuck he is and do his show from a beautiful studio they built for him. And he could bitch about anybody on the right who's not following him and then threaten us like he's going to run. I hope you do run, Howard.
God, that would be so great.
You don't have the platform you thought you did.
No, not.
Joe Rogan, MMA guy, has more listeners than you, dipshit. Yeah. That's the reality.
Absolutely.
And I don't care. I know I don't have the listeners Howard Stern does and never will. I don't care. It doesn't make you right.
I'd vote for Rogan today.
Yeah, right?
I would vote for him today.
He would never run. That's
I understand.
The difference.
No, I understand. But you'd be surprised, that people get pushed to a point.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. Craziness, man.
Who knows?
Speaking of being vaccinated and boosted and you've done all the things, you're masked up everywhere you go, and you're telling everybody to mask up and get boosters. Chicago mayor, that ghoulish Weekend at Bernie's dead woman walking, Lori Lightfoot, got COVID.
Like a dead fish.
Yep, she got COVID. She'll be working from home.
How many boosters has she had?
All of them. I wonder if her female boyfriend got it.
Yeah, he's
Probably will, right?
Yeah. I think
her female boyfriend has to get it.
I would think so. Yeah.
I mean, there's no way they're not scissoring every night, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess if you're not making out, if you're just going straight scissor or 6'9", you probably
Can you not get COVID from box eating?
it's respiratory.
Yeah.
You don't.
But what if she's moaning a lot?
Well, you'd have to be pretty good.
This chick better be amazing.
Yeah.
Lori Lightfoot better be the best ever.
That is that is a terrible looking couple.
Yeah.
Terrible.
No offense to terrible looking couples.
No,
There's lots of them out there.
Yep. They just happen to be the best.
Yeah. Lightfoot, she
couldn't happen to a nicer person, by the way.
Yeah. I'm experiencing cold-like symptoms, but otherwise feel fine. Yeah, that's what we told you would happen.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Which I credit to being vaccinated and boosted. Good for you.
Yeah.
We told you you'd feel fine.
Absolutely. That's fine.
The mayor's breakthrough case comes one day after she struck a deal with the teachers.
I thought we weren't calling them breakthrough cases anymore.
Stop it. This is not a breakthrough case. This is just a case.
Yeah.
It's not breaking through anything.
No. Yeah, we are. I thought we already, not us. Okay, we're not calling them breakthrough cases. CDC, I think, said we're not calling them breakthrough cases anymore.
Yeah. She thinks the vaccine gives her like Red Rover powers against the vaccine, and you just sort of broke through.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that, sweetheart. You got COVID, just like everybody else is going to get COVID at some point.
Holy shit.
It is what it is.
Great.
Chicago.
You got your vaccine, so hopefully it's not
boosted.
too bad. Good for you.
That's cold.
Yeah.
She'll be scissoring with her female boyfriend in no time. The Chicago Department of Public Health Commissioner Dr. Allison Arwady warned residents, this is still a very bad surge, and I don't want people to think otherwise. I really don't want people to think sort of it's over. It is extremely not over. Okay, not listening to you anymore.
Yeah.
Put you in charge.
So when this wave takes over, and whatever the percentage becomes of people that get infected with it, and I'd love to know how many people have had it that don't even know they had it.
Probably in the millions, tens of millions.
Really, yeah. I mean, that just either
especially with kids,
shook it off as a cold, or just didn't even bother to go to get tested. I feel bad for a couple of days, whatever it is.
Ryan's convinced we've all had it at some point.
Yeah,
most of us. He said you could have easily had it. Troy could have had it.
Absolutely.
I think especially for healthy people, there's probably tens of millions that have had it and never.
Yeah.
Or they thought they got seasonal allergies for a day and a half, and
I thought it's sort of like the Russiagate thing, where just the pieces keep falling of their story, just keep falling apart, and it's hard to keep defending it blindly.
Yeah,
and I'm so ignorant in my things, so I throw shit out, but
that's okay.
It's based in some fucking reality. Trust me, I'm not just making stuff up. But they changed the numbers of something along the lines of like 75% of the deaths had at least 4 other comorbidities.
Yeah, yes, that's
something like that.
73%, 75.
Somewhere in there.
I saw that
They had to backtrack on the numbers.
Yep.
So at least 4 other comorbidities.
I read that story, Troy, so I can back you up on that.
Okay.
And I was pissed because they didn't list comorbidities in the story that I read.
That qualifies.
And I could have read more. And comorbidities, I know if you're a fat fuck like me, that's a big one.
Exactly.
If you've got diabetes,
exactly.
If you've got heart problems, these are all comorbidities.
Now, it's not to say that if they didn't get COVID, they wouldn't have died. That's probably true, but not in every case.
No.
You know.
Dude, it's killing 1% of people. Yeah. It's just not. You know, this isn't the fucking, you know.
And of those, the 1%, 0.75% of those have at least 4 other comorbidities to go with that. Yeah.
So they've got heart disease, diabetes, fat fuck,
weakened immune system, old. So
it's crazy.
Yeah, this is maybe not as treacherous.
No, this is a power grab, Troy. That's all this is. It's a political power grab.
No,
that's it.
No, not possibly.
And
coming
they're
into
not going to let go of it.
Midterm elections. So they possibly be trying to upscale the severity of this.
Just wait. I'm warning you right now. The next surge to scare the shit out of you. The next tornado of whatever cron.
Coming late August?
Coming. Yeah,
about late August, somewhere before the November election.
For all the people that have whined and cried to about, dude, this doesn't end. This cycle continues. You think they're going to go, well, glad we're through that.
Yeah.
No. These psychopaths love the power grab. That's the game they're playing. So Omicron should be a gigundous wake-up call to Americans. Going, oh, the sniffles for a day and a half? Wow. I think I can handle that. Can I go back to work now?
Exactly.
Right, but they're not. They're acting like, oh, a tornado. Listen to the words they use in the articles. A tsunami wave of new infections or tornado of new infections that don't hurt anybody. They don't tell you the don't hurt anybody part.
Yeah.
You know? Just this, because you're right. They can't report COVID deaths from Omicron.
Sure.
What they can do is report how many new cases they have, which should be dynamite news.
Exactly.
Dynamite news.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want to talk herd immunity?
Which doesn't exist, but I know what you mean.
The premise of it anyway.
Yeah.
Let's all get the sniffles for a couple of days and try and move on.
Yeah. We've moved on anyways, and I know.
Although whatever the next variant is, you'll be able to catch that. But hopefully, it's got a half-life to where it just keeps.
I think there are so many people that are moving on, whether they talk publicly about it or not, because you can be shamed, lose your job, all that shit. When you see these stadiums packed with people every weekend,
you don't have to talk publicly about it. You can talk very privately about it in about 8 months.
Yeah,
right.
Like
that.
Once we get through those midterms, those midterms are going to be a real problem. Got a story for you. I think of ourselves as a forgiving nation. Don't you?
It depends on the offense.
Let's go back in 2015 back.
Oh, God, we used to be so great.
So forgiving, right?
Yeah, we were kind.
I want to get your opinion. Forgiveness, whether it's warranted, we should, we shouldn't. So Supreme Court justices have refused to hear the appeal of a U.S.-born ISIS bride who was stripped of her passport after traveling to Syria, marrying 3 jihadis and calling for Memorial Day terror attacks. The justices declined without comment on Monday to consider the appeal of Hoda Muthana, who was born in New Jersey in '94 to a diplomat from Yemen and grew up in Alabama. She claims to be very remorseful and has begged to be allowed back in the U.S. She left the U.S. to join ISIS in 2014 after becoming radicalized online. While she was overseas, the government determined, you know what, she's not really a U.S. citizen, revoked her passport. Citing her father's status as a Yemeni diplomat at the time of her birth, her family sued to enable her to return to the U.S. They're like, she was born in the U.S., she's a U.S. citizen. And they're like, yeah, she's not a U.S. citizen. The government determined Muthana wasn't a U.S. citizen. Despite her birth in the country, children of diplomats aren't entitled to birthright citizenship.
Okay.
So we'll take that back. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
And, no, fuck her.
Yeah.
You made your choice. There's a whole big world out there.
Hold
you can
on,
go
you haven't
live
heard
in.
the whole story yet.
That's all right. Well, I've already made my decision. But go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. Fair enough. Muthana surrendered to U.S.-backed Syrian Democratic forces as Islamic fighters were losing the last of their self-declared caliphate in Iraq and Syria and going to refugee camps. Since then, Muthana has said she regretted her decision to join the group when she left at 19 and headed to Raqqa via Turkey, where she first married an Australian jihadist and then a Tunisian man. Both died fighting for ISIS. Yeah. That's sorry. You hate to hear that.
Yeah, you should have married a better fighter.
During her time as a jihadi bride, Muthana would use social media as a tactic to spread hatred against non-Muslims and call for terror attacks in the U.S. In a 2015 tweet, she made statements like, spill all the Americans' blood, go on drive-bys and spill all their blood, or rent a big truck and drive over all of them. Veterans, patriots, memorial, etc., day parades, go on drive-bys and spill all their blood, rent a big truck and drive over them all, kill them.
Okay. Well, why don't we bring her back just so we can charge her and
Right?
send her to fucking prison?
Well, I think she's living in Tent City, in the middle of the desert.
Good, then leave her there. Fuck her.
However, now she wants to return to her country of birth with her child.
Oh.
For now, she was believed to be in a tent city, a refugee camp in northern Syria.
Is this the?
Yikes.
Is this one of the jihadi babies too? She didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She got
Oh,
knocked
yeah.
out by one of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a
Let's make
fucking
sure,
ISIS baby.
Yeah. Let's make sure we raise that one proper.
Speaking to The Guardian in 2019.
That's. I shouldn't say that. That's terrible.
What did you say?
I'm assuming that the baby's a shithead, and he's not. They give the kid a chance. She's a cunt.
Well,
I'm not going to assume the baby's a
I would assume apple's not falling too far from the tree.
Well, listen, that stuff's learned. It's not inherited.
Okay, fine. You say so.
Mm-hmm.
You say so. Speaking to The Guardian in 2019, she claims she deeply regrets leaving the U.S. and that she believes she was doing what was right according to Islam. I thought I was doing things correctly for the sake of God. She now believes she misunderstood her faith. I was young and ignorant when I decided to leave. She's worried about her son's future and begged the U.S. and her family for forgiveness at the time. I believe that America gives second chances. I want to return. I'll never come back to the Middle East. America can take my passport. I wouldn't even mind.
No.
So she got over there, realized she had to wear a fucking Glad trash bag for the rest of her life,
Yeah.
and get passed around jihadis like a fuck doll.
Yeah.
Like a
And they started dropping
pincushion.
like flies, and she was about to get fucked. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. I want to. Oh no.
Your
No,
heart's
no,
not
no.
breaking?
No, my God. No, it's worse.
Nothing I've said. I mean, she apologized.
Her. All of her.
The decision to revoke her passport was made under former President Obama. The case gained attention as Trump tweeted about it, saying he had directed the Secretary of State not to allow her back into the country. Another Western ISIS bride living in the camp is 19-year-old Shamima Begum, who was just 15 when she and a couple classmates thought it'd be cool to skip out on high school and fly from London to Syria. She is pleading with authorities to be allowed to return to her home country. She fears for this future of her son. However, the UK is like, yeah, go fuck yourself is the official
Perfect.
ruling.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. That should be written,
Yeah.
documented.
Sorry.
Just go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You know, the choices have consequences.
Yeah.
It's
Even
just
at
how
15?
it goes. I mean,
19.
listen. Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off. We're fine without you. You figure it out. You I mean, you know what I mean? You shit on us. We didn't shit on you. We're not
Yeah.
going to fucking take you back.
Yeah.
Great. I mean, we're not going to kill you. I mean, we might, but you can do you. You can live. You
Yeah.
can go anywhere you want except here.
Yeah.
But no, sorry.
That little rule in there about diplomats don't have
I don't give a
birthright
shit. Even if
citizenship.
she had, well,
Yeah.
that should be chargeable offenses. So
Yeah.
you want to come back, come to prison.
Yeah, she was hot to trot, talking all kinds of shit on social media. Had her husband
Something about all Americans' blood, something like that. And
drive
this
to
is
their
where you wanna-
Memorial Day parades and blow them up.
This
yeah.
is where you want to come back to. Sorry,
yeah.
sorry.
And just on the
We're close.
slimmest of chances that she's a mole, she's a Trojan horse. Just on that slim margin,
Yeah, no,
50-50 probably is
I
the
don't
slim
even give a
margin.
shit.
I don't either.
She could be 100% fucking remorseful and totally fucking. She could come back and cure cancer, and she could still fuck off.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay, we settled that. I thought I'd give you a chance
Yeah.
to speak your piece.
I mean, that's
I
just,
didn't know how you would rule.
That's one man's opinion. That's but
No, that's two man's rule. Opinion.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well done.
We got this. Pair of Florida women hit with felony charges. This might hit a little close to home, T.
Okay.
Allegedly throwing containers of glitter at a man and covering his apartment during an argument.
Glitter? Like just glitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember when Seike brought glitter to your...
It was confetti. And yes,
Same
I do
thing.
remember. Yes.
That's why I thought it might hit a little close.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I can understand. I can sympathize here with the long-term fucking
The victim?
yeah, the trauma caused by said effect.
Sarah Franks, 29 years old, and Caitlin O'Donovan were arguing with Jacob Colin.
Colon.
I'm not saying it. You can take it.
Yeah.
At his home in Clearwater, Florida, around 3 a.m. on Monday. Always a good place to be, fighting at 3 a.m. on a Monday.
Yep.
Colin was allegedly struck by the two women after the pair threw a container of glitter each at him before making their way inside his apartment and tossing more. It's pretty good aim for a couple of chicks.
So how did this start? So they weren't in the apartment?
No, he was on the balcony.
Yeah.
And they were down below.
Okay.
And they both whipped glitter at him.
Okay.
Little containers of glitter.
Yeah.
And both thumped him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done for chicks, right?
Yeah,
Especially. No offense to chicks. Some girls I know that have better arms than any guy I know.
That's true.
But by and large, chicks throw like chicks.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of them thumped him in the head. One of them thumped him in the chest.
Okay.
Yeah.
What floor is he on?
I don't know. It must have been the second.
We'll go second. We'll give him.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
It's like push-ups from the knees.
So during the argument, they both threw him at him, striking him in the upper head and torso.
Okay.
So forehead, would that be upper head?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, definitely not lower head.
No, right? Yeah. I guess the nose and above.
Yeah,
But you
okay.
wouldn't say you would have said struck him in the eye,
Nose.
orbital socket,
Wouldn't you say forehead though?
cheek. Yeah. Well, maybe
Hairline?
he's got one of them 5 heads.
Maybe.
They didn't want to say
Made
it.
it an easy target. Franks, Sarah, then climbed over a ground level fence and made her way inside Colin's apartment, where she continued to pelt him with more containers of glitter.
Where the fuck they come up with all this glitter?
I don't know. They went to Michael's.
This sounds like more of an impromptu thing. This is 3 in the morning, correct?
Yeah.
What are
Maybe
doing
they
with
knew
those-
they were going to get into a brawl and figured better arm ourselves with some glitter.
Yeah.
She then also unlocked the door for her other bitch friend out front.
So she climbs in,
Yeah.
infiltrates the apartment,
Penetrates it. Yep.
yeah, and then opens the door for her to come around and in.
Tosses a few glitter bombs around first, and then unlocks the front door, lets her co-conspirator in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a backstory to this.
After the glitter attack, Franks also kicked a window. Doesn't say broke a window, so it sounds like a girl kicked to a window.
So she's
that
got a
didn't
better
break.
arm than a leg, apparently.
Yeah, apparently. Yep. After their getaway vehicle was traced back to their residence, Officer Matt High, it's a dope name,
Okay.
Matt
Yeah,
High,
I see what you did there.
noted that the car was still warm to the touch and traces of glitter were in the vehicle. The judges ordered them to have no future contact with Colin. One of the girls I think should definitely go to prison for a long time.
Yeah.
Sarah Franks. I mean, can we cut Sarah any slack?
Yeah.
I think
probation.
O'Donovan needs to, be taught a lesson.
I don't
have the other picture.
I have no reference.
Yeah, I should have kept them both on
Yeah,
there. But
right, exactly. Again, so there's so many questions here.
yeah.
That what are they doing there? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. They're saying that they don't know each other. Is this a domestic
I think they
start?
know. They maybe know each other.
Yeah. Did he kick them out? Are they hookers that he didn't pay? What? Why do they have so much fucking glitter? Astronomy, that motherfucker. We need to know.
Yeah.
We gotta
Okay.
follow up with that.
Well-
I need to get through discovery of the trial.
I think collusion was going on here. They colluded together, the two chicks, to glitter fuck this guy's place. Now, whether he was on the balcony just going, "Get out of here,"
So this
I
has
don't wanna
got
see
to
you
this got to
anymore.
either be like a jilted girlfriend issue, like he was cheating on. There's something here. This isn't like
that
hey,
apartment.
turn down your music.
Yeah, and felony charges. I mean, breaking and entering, glitter
Well,
bombing.
here's the thing: you chuck a jar of something at a person, you hit him in the head.
I think there were little containers.
Doesn't matter. It could be a rock.
Yeah.
Could have been a glass bottle. It doesn't matter what
Yeah,
it
but if you
is.
chuck a marshmallow at someone, it's different than chucking a glass jar at them.
Fair, but
So a little
Premise
plastic
is
container
still-
with glitter.
it's the intent, my man.
Yeah, I don't know. Felonies, I'm fine with it because glitter is that apartment's ruined.
Oh fuck.
It's done.
Well, if it stays dry, they're fine. That's where we fucked up with Ed is because we were spraying champagne all over
in your living room.
And yeah, and then he threw all that confetti, that shitty little tissue paper stuff, and it just got soaked. Because it's not like we cleaned it up that night.
No,
it was like midnight. A full case of champagne.
Yeah,
we just went like we won the fucking World Series.
Yeah,
and we just sprayed it all over the place, and that confetti just dried into the carpet.
Yeah, it looked
and
like
never ever came out.
It starts to look like if you had a bowl of Fruity Pebbles that sat in milk way too long.
Yep, that's exactly exactly right.
That's what the
about
carpet
the same
like.
Consistency. If you've actually left Fruity Pebbles, or even worse, the Fruity Pebbles in the bowl in the next day.
Yeah.
That's dried on that you got to soak for an hour to get out, or scrub with a Brillo pad to get off of there, a flamethrower.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was like.
Yeah.
And into the fibers of the carpet.
Yeah, no getting it out.
Yeah.
If that house is there today, it's still there.
Well, the carpet's gone. And it was, after my dad passed and I went in there and there was still confetti in the carpet. It was amazing. It was like the word, like brown shag carpet, not shag, like.
It wasn't
fairly
shag.
tight, what's it called? Berber? I don't even know.
A Berber? Okay. Well, could be a Berber.
Well, I'm going to act like I know. Yeah, it was a brown Berber.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. So the color shit like stood out.
And we had no respect for anything at that time. I remember going over to Ed's buddy Ryan's house, and his mom would let us party there, and she had Peggy, yeah, and Peggy had a light fixture over the table.
Yeah, big like round one.
It was round, but it was
paper, right? Yeah.
And there was a fucking moth that landed on it. And so I hit it with a lighter. Yeah. And that thing went, poof, gone.
Yeah, like
gone. And it was just like, wow, hilarious. Almost burned the house down.
Yeah. It did not last.
Not good guys.
We just weren't meant to have nice things, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, T.
I am.
Take the floor.
I want to know, does your money work as hard as you do? You're going to spend upwards of 45 years working to support your lifestyle, provide for your family, and set aside money for retirement. Do you know if you will be able to retire on your terms? How could you? If you don't have a plan, let Mark and Jay at LPL Financial make sure that your money is working as hard as you are. Call them today at 248-626-2000.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
See, I got to read it, rip the glasses off, then hit the button.
Yeah, it's a problem. Probably have to come up with a better way to do that.
Maybe. That's the only thing I hit on there, so I should just need like one big screen.
Yeah, and we can probably do that. If I screw around with it, we can probably make it a much bigger button.
Probably.
There's just so many drops on there.
I know.
Did you hear the story about the girl, 16? She was 19. And
big difference depending on the story.
Right. Her boyfriend was 16.
Okay.
But they broke up in August, and she spit out a brat.
Oh, man.
She found out the day before that she was pregnant. She had no idea. Mm-hmm. So she
found out the day before what?
Having the baby.
Okay.
Yeah. She found out the day before. She was having some stomach cramps.
Yeah.
Thought she had the shits or something. Went to the doctor, and they're like, oh, yeah, you're pregnant as shit. She's like, what? So the next day, in a bathroom, she shits out the kid, wraps it up in a bag, and then chucks it into a dumpster.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
You know,
I always wonder in that situation, how'd they get the umbilical cord?
They said the umbilical cord was still attached. I don't know how that works.
I do. It's attached to the mother.
Right.
So it's still attached to the baby. Like you're connected. Like you have to cut it. Like you can't just throw the baby away without cutting the umbilical cord.
So what if you yank on it really hard?
It's like it's skin, it's tissue, it's fucking weird, it's disgusting. But it's
sounds disgusting.
You could chew through it, or you could, cut. Like I just always wonder, and that because that's not like premeditated. Like you just shit it out in a fucking bathroom stall at a fucking Applebee's and dumped it in the dumpster.
Yeah,
you know,
basically what you did.
Stole the butter knife off the table maybe and just gnawed your way through it.
So she wrapped it up. I don't know how the umbilical cord was dealt with.
Yeah.
Could have grabbed a butter knife. I don't know.
Okay.
But either way.
Just how I was thinking.
She just kind of wrapped it in some paper towel and a little blankie or something and just pulled up to this dumpster behind a supermarket or something and just, pulled up a 3.
In her defense, she only had one day to process this.
Yeah,
It didn't have a real time to put a plan together. So, you really can't just drop that on somebody.
So then you've got some dumpster divers, which is the thing. 3 of them, they hear what they think is a kitten meowing.
Oh, yeah.
Or a puppy. And so they're diving in there and they find the baby, but it's just shitty. When they looked at surveillance cam, they saw the woman pull up and chuck the toddler into the dumpster. And then as they fast forwarded through the security coverage, they found dozens of cars that pulled up and also dumped shit on top of the baby. Oh, just dumped their waste on top. Doesn't that make it so much more grim?
Yeah, well, they didn't know.
Yeah.
Was the baby still alive?
Yeah.
I was going to say, it was cooing and meowing, so they...
Yeah.
Great.
The grandfather...
Did the dumpster diver want hero status for saving a baby?
Oh,
Today,
I'm sure.
I saved a baby.
I saved a baby. The baby's name? Saul.
Saul? Mm-hmm. Saul good, man.
It's all good. The grandfather of the New Mexico baby who was abandoned in a dumpster by his mom said his 16-year-old son is the father, and his family now wants custody
Okay.
of the infant.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's take care of the baby. It's not the baby's fault that the pullout game sucks.
Yeah, but...
And how fat is this chick? How do you go that long and not know that you're about to shit out a kid?
I don't know.
I've seen plenty of pregnant. I've been through it a couple of times, and
They get huge.
You know pretty quick.
It seems like there's a lot of stories out of Mexico where this happens. I don't know why that is. When they find out last minute, it's kind of a last minute thing.
Okay.
Holy shit, I went to take a whiz and there
Baby.
it was. Bloop. Oscar Astorga said his son
How
Steven.
ironic.
Oscar Astorga?
Yeah. Well, you're just talking about Mexicans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's in New Mexico. So it's an international story.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
Said Stephen had no idea his ex-girlfriend, Alexis Avila, was pregnant until she gave birth and then was caught on camera callously chucking the child into a dumpster behind a shopping center in Hobbs, New Mexico. Of course, we're trying to get custody. He's my grandson. That's why we can't comment on anything, because we're trying to get my grandson. He added his family has received death threats. I never understand this.
What'd they do?
Since the story went viral.
What'd they do?
Who
He
knows?
dumped a load. They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's so crazy.
And they're trying to get him, take care of the kid, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck those people.
Text messages by Stephen and friends show he believed Avila had miscarried and had no idea he was about to become a dad until she was arrested for dumping the baby. The family are pulling out all the stops. They've already named him Saul. He's got a good home. I'd like to tell you a lot of things. I'm a God-fearing man. I just can't comment right now. This is the grandfather. There's a lot of people on social media that have been sending death threats to our family. We haven't done anything wrong. My friends saw them. These people on social media, we have nothing to hide, but we can't comment right now. Stephen has said that Avila told him she had miscarried. Saul was born in the bathroom of his grandparents' $104,000 home last Friday.
What the hell's that got to do with anything?
I don't know. That's
It's a shit thing to throw into the story.
which part that she...
That's a $104,000 home.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, that
Irrelevant, Your Honor.
we're doing our research. We're doing our
To see if this
due
is going to be
diligence.
a legitimate home for the baby.
Yeah.
It's better than the dumpster.
Yeah, it's way better than a dumpster. You would think. So he thought she miscarried. Avila told cops she had no idea she was pregnant, only realized something was amiss when she started getting abdominal pains. She's been charged with attempted murder, felony count of child abuse, and will appear in court on Wednesday. Avila claims she panicked and hours later wrapped her infant son in a towel and drove him to the shopping mall, where she was captured on camera throwing him in a dumpster behind Rig Outfitters. The high school student was then seen jumping back in her white Volkswagen Jetta and driving off. Baby Saul was discovered 5 hours later by these dumpster divers.
Oh, man. That's
Baby was freezing cold.
Yeah, no shit.
They took it to the hospital, and the body temperature was so low, it didn't register.
Oh, my God.
So hypothermia.
Yeah. I'll never understand. Like, is it not just common knowledge that you can? I forget what the law is called or whatever, like Amy's law or something like that.
Don't ask, don't tell type
Yeah,
shit.
well, I mean, you can
Drop
take it
off
to
on
a
the
fire,
porch.
a hospital or a fire department or police,
Yeah.
anything like that, like with no questions asked.
Yeah. And they have that there. Yeah.
You think? I think that's common knowledge. Like,
It
and you think she could get away with like pretending it was a miscarriage? Like, hey, when that thing came out, it was dead, it didn't make a fucking peep. I was like, holy shit, I just shit out a dead baby. So
Yeah.
what do you do with a dead baby? I threw it away.
Yeah.
And then somehow it came back to life. I had no idea.
No, we got to give it a death certificate. You know?
Well, why? It doesn't have a birth certificate.
Yeah,
no,
but it's,
no harm, no foul. You never even knew it was there.
Avila's mother spoke out for the first time. What do you think her take is?
Can't wait to hear it.
Everyone makes mistakes. Who hasn't been there, T?
I mean, right. I mean, you
Right,
just
you know?
you panic in the situation. Yeah.
People can talk and give their opinion. Everybody makes mistakes. People can preach all they want. They can judge all they want. But we only care about the judgment of one.
Not
That's
two.
Big man upstairs, right?
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Not the kid, just her.
This could be a problem, though. Some of Avila's friends have challenged her version of events, saying the teen mom was open about her pregnancy at school.
Oh boy.
Astorga's version of events also clashes with Avila's, with a friend of the teen dad saying that he had known she was pregnant, but was told she miscarried after they split in August. I heard her talk about being pregnant around late September, early October. She never expressed that it was a bad thing that she was pregnant.
She's fucked.
Yeah.
And poor
In
kid,
her
man.
defense, that would be startling. That'd be really startling.
No, if
to
you
get
know
that.
it for listen, the only even potential out I was giving her was that you drop this on somebody with 1
Yeah,
day's
but
notice.
it's not a dead baby, so you can't.
Well, I was just giving her an excuse. Listen, I'm a problem solver. That's what I do.
What-
I'm saying,
like-
if you give her 1 day, like, hey, I think you're pregnant. Like, what? And you start wrapping your head around the next day, shit, baby.
Yeah.
Like, panic.
I got to be
You
honest
got
with
months
you.
to deal with it.
If
off.
if guys gave birth, and I know some do,
Yeah.
just the ladies. If guys gave birth and all of a sudden one day I had a belly ache and then I shit a kid into the toilet,
Yeah.
I'd flush it.
Plunge.
Yeah, like I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't want to take it to.
Yeah,
I
but it
wouldn't
won't.
wanna-
It's too. I mean, no matter depending on how it won't go down. You'd have to dismember it to get it down the toilet.
Yeah,
That head would stick there.
you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could pop the head off and
Yeah. Well,
Mash it
yeah, but it
down.
won't go. Well, yeah, you'd have to like crush it. Like,
you've had shits that are like a baby arm though.
oh my god, yeah. Like,
Probably take that.
yeah, but a skull's a little thicker than a turd. You can smush a turd down and get it down around.
Don't they have those mushy heads though? Couldn't you just kind of like tip it off?
Maybe
Roll it
maybe.
out a little
Yeah,
bit?
like roll it out like dough.
Yeah.
Yeah, taper it out like a turd.
Yeah.
Send it down.
Yeah.
Maybe. Watch it just spin.
I'm not saying people should do that.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no.
saying
We're problem solvers. That's
yeah.
all. I'm just thinking of possibilities.
Yeah.
And thank
would be
God
tough.
men don't have babies.
Yeah,
because that
we
would
would do
happen.
that.
Absolutely.
I wonder how often that happens though, where some kid shits out a kid and then chucks it in a dumpster. Dumpster's taken to the dump 2 days later, and no one's
Nobody
the
ever
wiser.
knows. Huh.
I wonder if that happens
It's got to. Yeah, it's got to come
from time to time.
Yeah.
You know?
And going forward, silence the thing before you throw it in there. That's how you get caught. It's the only reason it got caught because it was making noise.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, let's do a little email.
This was morbid.
This is morbid.
took a
Yeah,
turn.
no
This
doubt.
took
It
a
was.
turn.
We should have warned people it was going to be a rough turn there.
No,
That's okay. Jeff says, T. Roy. Holy shit. Mamadou Wagyu burned his lips and nose. That answers my question. Fuck me. That's hilarious. T's JPE average is way up.
oh, okay. Hey, thanks.
P.S. Walters, keep the COVID talk coming. It's very difficult to find outlets doing real research necessary to speak intelligently about it. Ivermectin, hospitalizations, vaccines. You're speaking a whole lot of truth, and I hope people take this seriously. Happy New Year's, boys. Thoughts and prayers and all that shit.
Ah, thanks, sir.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah. And it's funny because I thought about it the other day when we had the football talk. I was like, oh, half people aren't listening or whatever. And then one person was like, I thought the same thing,
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. If you talk about sports, half people are going to hate it and somebody's going to like it. If you
yeah.
talk about the
Dead babies.
Yeah, you talk about dead babies. Everybody loves dead babies. But if you
And
talk
they
about
can't even get mad at us for
COVID,
this dead baby discussion because that baby's lived.
Yeah.
Saul.
Survivor.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's great. Saul's doing great.
Good.
Touch of the hypothermia, but he's doing great now.
Yeah.
So we can talk about dead babies, especially when they're not dead.
Wait, his name's Saul and he's in New Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just checking.
Yep. Hey guys, love the show. I think Aaron Rodgers is the one who is wanting the Hub guy being upset about the vaccine because Hub said Rodgers didn't have a chance to win MVP from the start of the year. That means that it didn't have anything to do with the vax status. It was all about him holding the team hostage in the offseason. I'm sure the vax probably solidified it in Hub's mind, like just another dick move, but I think he would be feeling the same way even if he was vaccinated. Just my thoughts. I'm with you guys on keeping personal shit out of it, but I don't think it was about the vaccine.
Well,
Marcus.
we did
Thank you,
address that
Marcus.
a little bit at the time. Well, we said, I went back to the summer.
Yeah.
That was pre this, so it was just he already had his mind made up.
Yeah.
But that's almost worse. You know, I mean,
Yeah, it's
it's
bad
actually
either
worse
way.
that it would have been he had his mind made up before he even took the field.
Yeah.
Because the most valuable player is throughout the season for the team.
Yeah.
And-
Well, if you were making the argument he was less valuable to his team because of his offseason saying he wanted to be traded, he wanted to go move on, but tons of players do that every year.
Did they vote last summer for this year's MVP?
No,
Then
of
shut
course
the fuck
not.
up. Then
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
No, I agree. It makes it. You hope that those sorts of things, those awards, are based on merit, and merit isn't you being in a squabble with the front office before the season starts. Merit is what did you do on the field, and 4 picks to 40 touchdowns or whatever he's got,
Yeah.
and the number 1 seed
Overall.
Overall, I mean, it's undoubtable. It's undeniable what he's done this year.
Yep.
You can make a case for a couple guys, but I think most rational thinking people. So yeah, you hope it would just be stats on the field. At least you and I think, feel that way.
I agree. But yeah, we did address that it was more than just that because
Yeah.
of the timeline
Yeah.
of him saying back in the summer that.
Yeah.
But we didn't have all the information.
All right, let's get out of here, team.
No, what do you got? No more good ones.
No, we'll do them tomorrow.
All right, fine.
We'll be back tomorrow.
I did my 3 shows this week. I'm done.
Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging with us. We'll try to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
See you then.